Hey guys, it's Steven. Got a Bytes chart update for you here. As you can see, we had a great month for July. We started off the month at about $1.40, and we made our way all the way to 650, and finished the month at about 490. And as you can see, we had this resistance here at 650. So um, this is the R3, and simply all I did was just take the highs, the lows, and the close, put that into the pivot chart, and it showed me where the highest resistance would be, and it just so happened to end up at that spot. So last video we left off on the 27th, which was right here, and we were just starting to touch this R2 here. So as you can see, we had a nice breakthrough and all the way to the top there. So I wanted to point out the fact that the market cap is at 7.7 million, which is a pretty high market cap considering we were under $1 million not that long ago. So and this is an effect of having a bunch of tokens coming into circulation. Once we get this new token system, which is going to be Bytes 2.0, there's going to be less tokens generated, and you're going to need more Bytes tokens to generate more tokens. So definitely be interested to see how that affects how this market cap moves. And also, maybe there's going to be some burning mechanisms in the future, and that would help bring this relative market cap down. So that would mean that, there'd be more value. If there's more tokens burnt, you're buying at a better value. So looking forward to the month of August. We have a resistance 1 at 715, and it's pretty close to where we were last month's R3. So the first resistance is moving higher here. We do have the central pivot at 427, and then we do have support at about $2. So just wanted to point out that these aren't necessarily predicting anything. These are just simple measurements to give you a good idea of what the high risk and high reward would be. So simply having the central pivot here, you can expect that the price could move towards there. But we all know that any tweet or any type of activity, whether it's Alex Becker specifically is telling us that he's working on a project, and that project is not Neo Tokyo related, but it will benefit Neo Tokyo. So whether that has something to do with the Bytes or not, that's yet to be seen. But that's just the type of an event that you can't really plan for, right? But what you can do is you can look at the charts and you can say, okay, well, I want to accumulate value. I feel comfortable that, and if we do get bullish, we're going to come back to at least 427. Maybe the price is $3 and you want that 30% upside, right? It's just a measurement. It gives you something to kind of calculate your risk reward. So wanted to point that out. And as we move towards the Bytes to Ethereum chart here, get this loaded up. Pretty similar chart, but what you see is actually the price performed better against Ethereum. So we left off on the 27th here, and that's when we actually saw, just after we had that large spike higher, and that moved us out of the entire pivot chart and back down to where we finished off here. So overall, this R3 did end up being the top resistance, and even though it did move over, it did give you a pretty good exit point if you did use these pivots. So looking forward to this month, we got a very high resistance 1, which is good. So obviously with the bullish pattern here, you're going to get higher resistances. So moving all the way up to 42 is a possibility. And then we have the central pivot. We'll see if we can get a good amount of buying volume to keep us around this price. And actually, there's a lot of things that will actually work towards keeping this central pivot number, and I'll show that in just a second. And it has to do with the liquidity. So let's just go ahead and check that out right now. So if you look at the liquidity pool, you'll notice that there is a large wall of liquidity. I'm not for sure who exactly's liquidity this is. This could be a project, but I do know that coming up here soon, Mint Defense was given a significant amount of Bytes, and they're going to be adding liquidity to the pool. So, what's going to happen is there's going to be a large amount of liquidity that's going to be able to be bought. So as more liquidity, more bytes are put into the liquidity pool, the price is going to be more stable, and obviously it's going to be much more difficult for the price to move higher through all this liquidity and added liquidity versus move lower, right? So I calculated that there's about 9 ETH to get to this first pivot support at 0.0015 here, and 9 ETH isn't much, right? I mean, that's $15,000. So it is possible, but this is considering that not necessarily just selling that much, but that's a net sell. So just wanted to point that out, that there's going to be more resistance on the upside there. So yeah, 0.015. So yep, that's basically it. Didn't want to keep this video too long. Let's keep moving here. I am watching the blood token. So one thing that I've been keeping track of is the market cap of this blood token. So as more tokens come into circulation, obviously the market cap's going to continue to go higher. But just as I'm bullish on Neo Tokyo, I'm also bullish on Super Farm. I'm bullish on Imposters, and that means I'm thinking the blood token can do well. So watching the fact that there are people coming in and buying at this price here, it's very very good to see. And then also, if you look at the Bytes to Ethereum ratio, it's at such a great value now. So this is the time when nobody's looking at it. This is when you want to accumulate, when there's no eyes. And then we know that the beta is going to be coming out here. We're going to have an event where people can play. There's going to be some hype coming. So for me, I'm watching this and I'm looking to accumulate this, and how to do that, how to do that capital efficiently. Well, if you're looking at the liquidity pool, it's pretty just flat, right? There's nobody providing liquidity here, and that's because there's just not much volume. So there's not really too much opportunity here. But if you kind of zoom in here, 0.5 ETH locked in here. So personally, I'm thinking about possibly liquidity pooling here and accumulating through maybe Chromatica, or just creating a liquidity pool and hoping that somebody comes and sells these tokens to me at a good price, and that way I can accumulate for zero slippage. Because right now, if you want to buy $3,000 worth, that's going to move the price 4 to 5%. So pretty big moves can happen with very little money on a token like this with such low liquidity. So accumulating capital efficiently matters. So I'm going to be possibly doing that. I'll let you know if I do start to make moves on that. And let's just finish up with the overall macro market. So we left off on the 27th, and I was talking about how I'm still pretty bullish, and I didn't really think there was a reason to really be long here. I felt like there was still a lot of risk in the market. So it kind of proved me wrong here, right? We did see a nice spike higher back to this resistance here. I was expecting maybe to come back down at 19.8 here. But that's still a possibility, right? Although we start in a technical bull market, we're not out of the woodworks here. So I'm still being very cautious personally. I don't think there's that much upside, and until we break this 24.4. I mean, I don't see the upside of buying right now. I'd rather wait for value. And then, as I'm watching the dollar index as well, just really in a very interesting place. So, watching the dollar index move below this 106, which is the highest resistance for this month, the pivot here, R3. So, if we move lower, obviously a lower dollar is good for the markets, but this could become support here, and it could be the next leg lower, right? So you could definitely be cautiously long the market, and if the dollar index starts to go higher again, and it's maybe just have stop losses on your plays here. But yeah, I'm just being very cautious personally. I'm in high cash right now, so going to be watching that. So I'm going to be keeping my bearish stance still until I'm proven wrong, and I'm going to be looking to accumulate for cheaper. So I'm going to finish the video here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you later.